All right, so this video might get crazy because today I was doing my scroll and the first thing that popped up was about bonnets, right? And I just have this pet peeve about bonnet conversation and whether it's appropriate or not appropriate. And in this particular conversation, it was about a sign being posted at an establishment. And, they're just saying no bonnets, no flip-flops, whatever. They're establishing a dress code for their place of business. And I guess there was a response of saying, oh, this is anti-Black. And I don't understand that because bonnets are not owned by chocolate individuals. Bonnets have been around since the beginning of time. Bernstein's Bear's mama wore a bonnet, okay? The Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood wore a bonnet because Granny was wearing a bonnet, and that was a disguise for the wolf. Like, bonnets have been around. Little House on the Prairie, bonnets. It's crazy, especially when you think about these not ancient, but these older pictures of women who are not chocolate in the grocery store, shopping on the streets in their hair rollers. So they weren't wearing bonnets, but hair rollers. And there's so much history to a bonnet and why somebody might wear that in different cultures, what it means, why they would cover their hair, things of that sort, right? So understanding that is like very important. But to me, it feeds into this other thing of, it's about what we look like. We care more about what we look like because if we look good, we feel good. And that's just not the truth. I think that when you feel good, then you have the ability to look healthy because there's this balance, there's this serenity that happens. And I'm not saying that's the feeling that you have all the time, but you know how to jump in and out of the spaces. You know how to get into a space of contentment, right? Rather than being weighed down by all of the waves of life, right? Like an ocean. And so you learn how to swim, you learn how to wade, all those things. When we're talking about being online and seeing relationships, we have this thing of if I can't see it, if it doesn't look that way, then it can't exist, right? When in all actuality, it's us who cultivate an experience for ourselves and for our lives. That's us, our behavior, how much we're going to participate with someone, how much we're going to pour into ourselves, how much we're going to pour into others. And so, yeah, I'm a person who, if one of my kids try to dot that door with a bonnet on, I'm like, hey, you're going to do your hair. But having your hair done doesn't mean that you're in a healthy space. It doesn't mean that you're a good person. It doesn't mean that you're going to be professional. It doesn't mean that you're dependable. It doesn't mean that you're self-aware. It doesn't mean that you're emotionally balanced. It doesn't mean that your quality of life is something that you're enjoying. So I think that's very important, that we don't let the perceptions that people have and the things that they create to put out there be something that we necessarily need to hold on to. Our experience is so individual, and so it only makes sense that maybe that part works for you, but the other part doesn't work for you. So what if we're going 50-50? So what if he pays all the bills? Nobody's in your relationship. So I don't know if this is about content or what, but definitely when people start making commentary, oh, well, I wouldn't do that, it starts to chip at our self-worth, right? So because you don't think it's a good idea, or these 20 yous don't think it's a good idea, then maybe there's something wrong with what I'm thinking or what I'm doing. And that's not necessarily what that means. And so the perceptions of others, it has this profound impact on our self-worth. We tend to exist within this vast social network, especially because we have social media. So we're constantly receiving this feedback, whether we want to say that we're aware of it or not. Some of it is conscious, some of it is subconscious. So we're getting friendly advice from people that we know, people that we consider to be friends, people making casual remarks, and, comments on social media, people getting into your DMs or whatever. And all of those things are leaving an imprint on our psyche. So over time, this builds this feedback cloud, this cloud above our head, right? And when this cloud is filled with affirmations and positivity, it tends to move us forward, right? We can see the trees. We want to grow things. We want to plant seeds, and it boosts our confidence. We're receiving praise. We're being encouraged. We have our spirits are uplifted. and we're active and we participate, right? We just generally have this brighter demeanor. But equally, when negativity starts to dominate, and that's what's over our heads, right? It starts to make us second guess ourselves. Like, are we going to get drowned out? Is somebody going to get struck by the lightning, right? And we start to have all of this criticism, and that can spiral us into like this self-doubt, making us hesitant to voice our opinions and our thoughts and even engage with other individuals. We can start to pull back. So what's the feedback forecast? You have constructive and you have destructive feedback, right? And constructive feedback is like when somebody tells you have a booger, right? So you can remove the booger and you don't have to go around looking like that. But it's this constant learning process of you understanding this dynamic is the first step toward harnessing power for your personal growth. Now, constructive feedback, it definitely has purpose, and its main goal is to help you grow, to help you develop, to help you improve your performance, improve your skills, and balance and improve your behavior and how you interact with people. It also has a foundation, though. So when we're talking about getting constructive feedback, it is dependent upon specific observations, facts, examples that people can point to, that you can point to and see as well. So when we receive or give constructive feedback to people, there should be suggestions or guidance for improvement. And those suggestions and that guidance, it focuses on solutions rather than just pointing out the problems. It does both things. There's this balance that's going on. So this is different than just solving problems or asking one to provide you a solution or telling people what they should do and what should be working for them. It's really about giving that space and opportunity to brainstorm approaches that can really shift the dial and lighten the blow or really change the situation altogether for that individual, not what's good for you, but for that individual and their situations. And the suggestions are meant to uplift and to motivate the person that you're giving the construction to, right? The feedback to. So it's like a feedback on a bun method. I like that method because you're starting with something where you identify what someone is doing well. You talk about something that they can improve upon, so something that they can be better at, and then finally you sandwich that with, you're highlighting something that they did that they should continue doing in the future. So this is what you're already good at. It's never what you're saying, perhaps, it's always about how you're saying it. And I've always been told that too. And that contributes to our personal and professional development. And it definitely has a different feel than just picking someone apart or trying to blow them out of the water or one up them, right? I'm pretty sure people are familiar with that. Now, when we talk about destructive feedback, that is intentionally hurtful. It's meant to criticize. It's meant to undermine. It's served with a negative tone, right? And its purpose is to tear down your confidence and make you feel bad or the person that you're talking to feel bad. The language that's used, it can be derogatory. It doesn't always have to be, though, but most of the time it is, or maybe you're being made to be the end of the joke. It could just be about mocking a breakdown or belittling your efforts. Again, the one-upping. So either way, it decreases your morale and it decreases your performance over time. It's just picking away at you. So providing destructive feedback, it can create hostile environments and really snuff out your determination. Okay, that's the goal. So some people might do it because we love to talk about being in competition, right? But for the most part, people want you to feel unworthy, just kind of like slow your momentum down. And destructive criticism, it'll definitely snuff your flame. But people have to get you to buy into those ideas too. So this information is probably coming from somebody you trust, right? Criticism without constructive intent is really just noise, just womp, womp, womp. Often more about the giver than it is about you, so where that person's coming from. On a personal level, we could probably filter out the noise, observe only what's beneficial. That's how we're going to be able to navigate that. And focusing on personal growth and understanding that we really can't please everyone. That helps us navigate all of these opinions that keep coming at us, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. We definitely can't control other people. You can't control what they say, can't control what they do, right? Can't control what they think about you. But we can control how we let it impact us. And handling negative feedback is something that can be very, very challenging. But it doesn't mean that it can't be handled, because it can be handled, okay? What was that? Olivia Pope. It can definitely be handled. The thing is, we're so quick to respond, and so it's important that we don't do that. Reacting is something that's very familiar on social media, because we can receive the negative feedback. We want to resist that urge to respond immediately. Let it breathe. Take a step back. Allow yourself to really process the information that's coming in. Is it true? Have something to check it against, right? Because reacting impulsively, that could lead to us being very defensive and getting canceled or saying something that we didn't mean to say. And then you'll be spinning your wheels for no reason. It also gives you a chance when you step back to collect some more information. Seek additional perspectives, people that you trust, people that you can ask about that feedback. Check it in against something. Understand that when you're clarifying those points, it definitely helps to gather that information, because you can see the bigger picture and respond more thoughtfully, more intentionally to your direction and what you're trying to do. Okay? What is it called? A harbinger, right? Like the aha moment. Look at people's patterns and their feedback. Is this something that's recurring? Are they always doing that when you're up? Are they trying to bring it down? You know what I mean? Are they seeming to be helpful? Are they more secretive with the information that they have? Because when you start recognizing the trends with people and how they communicate with you, it definitely helps you address underlying issues and where the motives might be coming from, rather than letting our emotions take over. Right? We always think that somebody is competing with us. We always think that somebody is out to get us. But we can have people that we trust around us. They don't need to be yes men telling us, "Oh, you're doing the best job." When people want you to do well, they want you to make an improvement. And so that's where that feedback can come from that doesn't seem so desirable. But they're not just trying to stab you in the back. There is a big difference, okay? So negative feedback, it doesn't always mean that you need to change anything. Sometimes people can't see your vision, and that's why you need to know yourself. That's why you need to understand your self-worth, because you have to be able to consider whether there are adjustments needed to what you're trying to do and to you as a person. Maintaining your current approach, sometimes it's just very valid. It's just it's hard to swallow. So you want to be able to stay true to your values and to your principles that may be different than other people, because you really can't please everybody all the time. Feedback should be like a gift, even if it's critical, right? But it should be constructive, like a compass that's guiding you toward improvement, and then recognizing that destructive feedback is the exact opposite, okay? It's a storm that's just trying to tear you down. So feedback is opportunity for growth and improvement, and you can overdo anything, okay, with the external perceptions. And feedback is about, especially with your personal growth, it's about what's going on in here, not always about what's going on out here, because you could dress anything up, right? But it's still, right? You could get you a big old badonkey donk, right? But you still gotta clean it. And cleaning it is about what's going on in the inside and cultivating this healthier sense of self. So I just want people to remember that you're really your own greatest ally, and your love for yourself is the most beautiful relationship that you can cultivate. There is a Facebook group. It's Take the Leap, and there's a lot of things that you can get together. If you don't have a tribe, then it doesn't hurt to try that tribe, right? Just a bunch of different people getting together, trying to support each other, uplift each other, especially on this journey of self-discovery, and creating a way to affirm, like figure yourself out and affirm that. So if you have time, visit Share. It is on Facebook, because, it might be one of those lasting things. But we need not be so worried about what people are thinking about us. Are you presenting what you want to present? When you're alone at the end of the day, Are you feeling accomplished about the things and the interactions that you had throughout the day? Are you feeling accomplished with your career, what you do for work? Do you feel valued, not just by other individuals, but do you really see the value in who you are and why your existence is so important in the world? Not being self-centered, but we're all connected to one another. Just being able, like, you might be the person, there's this man at my local Walmart, and he's so amazing. Everybody knows that Walmart greeters can be very amazing, especially if they're retired, right? They just do the best things, and you always remember those individuals. And so our greeter at the Walmart is amazing. He loves to celebrate holidays, and that's not even my thing. But you know what? When I go to the Walmart and I know that a holiday is coming up, or it is a holiday, I'm excited to see, because he always wears a mask still. He's an older gentleman, mature gentleman, and he wears a mask or whatever, but he always dresses his mask up. Like, he's always entertaining with that mask, okay? And he always has a smile, I think, under there, because just the way he speaks, you can't even see his face and see that he's smiling, but the way he engages with you and interacts with you, it's bubbly. And I'm not saying that everybody has to be bubbly, but if he's not there, you're going to know that he's not there. You're going to miss him. And what is he doing? He's working at Walmart, you know what I mean? So he could probably think, oh, it's not really a big deal. But maybe some people might even just come there just to see him with his mask and his costumes. Because he is definitely, to me, he living his best life. And he found a way to make every day count. And so that is my reminder not to forget to make every day count, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next hour, in the next minute, in the next day. I don't know. I can make all the plans that I want to, and I don't forsake doing that, right? And I don't forsake doing it even if people think, oh, that's not a good idea. When I first thought about doing peer support, the name that I wanted for my business, the person who was like doing all of my marketing materials and stuff like that said that that's not really a good name. But that name had meaning for me, and there was a reason why I was using that name. So I got it. It wasn't very appealing for them, and I get it. When we're in business class and stuff like that, that's not something that you would normally pick. But this is about being unique. And so, therefore, I was going to keep that name, and I was going to roll with it. And over time, things evolved and didn't really change the name, but things evolved, and there were different things that I was able to spin off of it, right? That was more marketable. So do your thing. Do you, but be okay with you, not just looking good, because I know all of y'all out here, y'all really put on. You put on, you got the nails on, the hair done. What is it? Nails done, hair did, everything. You out here. There's some very beautiful individuals, male, female, very beautiful individuals in how they're doing it. But if this is not going on inside and you're not happy with this at the end of the day, when you have to sit and be quiet and there's nobody around to cheer you on, are you still able to cheer you on? Do you want to cheer you on? Do you have that in you? So anyway, have a good one. Don't let people's perceptions, because it really doesn't matter if you have colored hair, curly hair, straight hair, long hair, short hair. The impact that you make on people, on the fashion world, if that's your thing, but people wear fashion. Fashion doesn't wear people. So people are most inspired by what's exuding from the inside, right? That's what they say. Girl, wear the clothes, don't let the clothes wear you. And so there's a personality that you give off in wearing these clothes. Anywho, I don't know when that bonnet conversation is going to end, but stuff like that can be very distracting because we're just so pent on the appearance of things. But feeling good with us is more important than that. More important than that. And more important because that's really your contribution to everybody that you meet, every space that you're in, That's it. Have a good one.